Jambo, habari, good evening, how are you? I'm hoping that your weekend was fantastic. Mine was great. Uh, Friday I decided to lay around and rejuvenate. Then yesterday, because my weekend is Friday and Saturday, I went out with my friend after doing a couple of things. Anyway, I'm behind with my videos, and so I decided let me do a segment that I have not done in a long time about me. So I'm sure most of you are like, what is new? What can you tell us about yourself? You've already told us everything. So I'm going to use what you already know and try to demystify some of the myths that some of you might have about me. If you have any more clarification, feel free to go to the comment, add your comment, ask a question, and then I'll be able to clarify. But for now, I'm going to do it around three areas. The most controversial ones, the ones which I get asked: money, relationship, and religion. First of all, as a Toastmaster and in this region, I always try to avoid talking about three topics: sex, religion, and politics. But today you're going to allow me to talk about religion. So, what is my religion? I was raised a Catholic. Okay, I even did everything. My full name, only a very few people know about it. So if you know what my full name is, drop it in the comment. Otherwise, we will leave that for the reason why it's not in my birth certificate is because by the time I was getting my confirmation name, I had already gotten a passport, had already gotten my national ID, and the idea was like, no, you will include the name once you got married. It is yet to happen, so that I can make the transition quite easy. But it has always been great because when I want to go private, that is the name I use completely, and people will not know or associate it with me. The second one I want to talk about is that when it comes to religion, I don't nowadays associate with any religion. In fact, there's a person who asked me, and to make it easy for them, I told them I'm an atheist. But this is my religion. My religion is very simple. I do not believe in any one particular religion. I can do anything. I am happy going to the temple the same way I am happy going to the mosque, the same way I'm happy going to church. I just try to adhere spiritually to the notion that as long as I don't physically or emotionally hurt another being, or as long as I'm kind to everyone, and as long I am in peace with my God, with my universe, with my ancestors, I am okay. So for me, that is my religion. I do not adhere for anything. So when somebody comes, I will celebrate Christmas. When Eid comes, I'll celebrate Eid. When Diwali comes, I'll celebrate Diwali. When all the fasting in between, I will do all of them because I'm a spiritual being. That is me. So now let's move to the next about man. You all know that I love man. I love man so much. And the goodness in my life is that so far money has loved me. But I do have a limitation when it comes to money. Number one, I will never ever date a married man just because he's offering me money. No. I don't care if your religion tells you you can have four wives. I don't care if your tradition says you can take on multiple wives. I do not care if you are in whatever, but I'm not going out into a relationship with somebody who is married or somebody in a long-term relationship. I am not going to be the other woman. Simple. But what happens if somebody cheats on me? If I'm dating somebody and they decide to cheat on me, that is a road they really do not want to open because I can be open-minded and it is not going to fall good with them. So the best thing to do is that for me and my partner, we sit down at the beginning of the relationship and we agree how we want things to go. That said, no, I do not display my partners or partner on any social media because I learned a long time ago that some of you can be quite nosy and I don't want to show the good thing and then when it ends, I don't show the bad thing. So at the end of the day, I decided it is best that all of you, whichever period of my life, you realize that I am a single woman and that's where we will end. The second thing is that this comes deeply rooted from my religion. I do not collect money from down. Yes, I always have a bag in my bag, and I always say that if I ever come across a big sum of money, I will literally keep it in my bag and I will never report it. But today I did, and so many times I always get large sum of money, but I always end up handing it back because where I come from, we tend to my people tend to sell bad things with money. So, for example, if I have an incurable disease that keeps on hunting me, what I will do, I'll just put it in money and go and sell it to outside. So the person who picks the money picks it. If my life has been for bad luck, I will settle it with money and keeps it. So coming from that kind of religion, coming from that kind of belief, coming from that kind of culture, I do not pick money and keep. Yes, I'll pick it like I did today. I got a considerable amount of money and it would have changed my life, but I will just go and hand it over to the security. And even if they call me after a while and say, hey, nobody came to claim this money, I will tell them donate to charity because I do not know the person who left it there if they were trying to get me to get their bad luck of life. Yeah, okay, I don't know if that makes sense, but that is from my religion. Enough about money. We have already dealt with religion. We've already dealt with money, and the final one, which honestly right now I'm forgetting. So let me pause for a bit and then try to remember. Relationship, that was the other one. I know I just covered about relationship and what I cannot do, but let me expand this. Most of you know I date interracially. That means I date outside my race. But does that mean that I date everybody who is outside my race? The answer is no. I still have a preference between the interracially, but as I discovered, this is a very, very difficult topic because I have been in areas where I literally got subjected to emotional abuse to the point of being physical abuse because some guys could not understand why I didn't want to date them. And up to today, I still get people who I rejected like 10, 20 years ago coming back and saying, hey, you're still single, you're not married. Are you now ready to marry me? And the answer is still no. Yes, I do have a preference, and no, I will never ever date a man just because he has money and is from another race. So, two things about that. Another one is I will never also date a broke man because I cannot suffer for money and we suffer for money. So, what determines what I date about a guy? Obviously, we're going to have the most controversial one, which is physical attraction. I do have a certain type and I do have to go for a certain type. And when I used to post the guys I used to go out with, a lot of you said that I liked men who are kind of like a bit of feminine, not too masculine. Or yes, and I like guys who exercise because they motivate me to exercise. But at the same time, I do have my preference, and I'm not going to say it here because when I do, men tend to bring themselves to the way I describe so that they can be able to be that person, and I don't want it to be like that. So all I'm gonna say is yes, I do date interracially. Yes, I do have a physical and emotional compatibility when it comes to a partner. And yes, I will not post the guys I date anymore because I came to realize that it's not something that I want to do with the world. And somebody once asked me, let me now reply to this video, that if I ever settle down, would I post it all over? The answer is still again no, because I don't want to, for reasons that I've come to learn over the years. So I tend now to protect the relationship I'm in so much that even the people who are close to me sometimes don't know I'm dating until that time when I'm comfortable telling them that yes, I've been seeing this person for the past 1 year. So that I don't want a lot of questions about that. So I hope this does answer some of your questions. So religion, I'm a spiritual person. Money, yes, I love money, but I do have my limitation when it comes to money. Dating, yes, I do date interracially, but does not mean that I will go with everybody interracial outside my race, I do have preferences when it comes to both physical and emotional capability. Now, some of you have been throwing guys at me saying, oh, this guy is very rich, you need to date him. But he's not my type, so why am I going out with him? Anyway, any other question you want to know about it, drop in the comment and I'll try my level best to answer. Otherwise, have a fantastic week. I now need to go and start preparing for the next one so that I don't have to do an impromptu shooting like this one. Have a fantastic evening. Bye bye.